time I seem to have with this channel. I'm going to look something up. I don't know what's going on with my internet, possibly. I'm not sure. Can you hear me? I hope you can. But this is insanity that I try to come on to this channel and I can't even get in. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I changed the day and time of my videos. So I have to take a breath because it just feels ludicrous that I set up a YouTube live, as you can see from one of my thumbnails. I set up the YouTube live a few days ago because I was going to do this talk about where I was in my life at this moment about being lost overweight and feeling like, oh my gosh, my body's never going to change after my third child. And I set the whole thing up. And then I was driving to take my dog to the kennel for a week. And on my way back, I stopped purposefully so that I could get onto my video on time. And there was no video, excuse me, ready to be seen in the live stream saved scheduled videos. So, okay, I'm going to put you down. I'm going to put you in my little stand so that I can really get serious and talk to you. And I might even do my story for you that I'm doing tonight for the National Speakers Association storytelling competition. I'm not really ready, and it's in like 3 hours, but that's okay, 4 hours. But that's okay. I'll be ready to the best of my ability. You know, sometimes you just got to show up. And that's what my whole channel is about, fear to confidence. So even though I don't feel maybe fully ready, I may never be fully ready. And I don't think a lot of times we are fully ready for everything to occur. And so, hold on, let me put this in my little stand so you guys can see me and hear me better. Okay. All right. Hopefully, this is going to still work and that all will be well and you can hear me and see me. Melissa K. Range, Igniting Change. And this is life. This is real life where we encounter things and things pop up and things happen. And sometimes we just don't know what's going to happen. And we just have to roll with the flow. We have to go with the flow. Flow. That is something that the divine feminine has taught me, being in the flow of life and not always knowing what's going to happen or what's going to occur. And I just have to roll with it. I cannot, I can't always predict and I can't always know everything and know exactly what's going to happen. And I just have to roll with life. I have to roll with it. Right. And so when I try to come on here to my YouTube video that I've scheduled and it's not showing up on my channel, I think to myself, well, this is so strange, but I'll just have to roll with it. Isn't that what we do? And instead of getting crazy or freaking out or getting angry about it, I just say, okay, I guess it's not meant to happen right now. And when it's meant to happen, I'll get on. And so, and the right people will show up because one of my affirmations, thank you so much, is I'm always in the right place at the right time, engaged in the right activity. Thank you. And that is truly one of my affirmations. So, this video today is about a space where I was in my life where I was. Oh, there's a beautiful bird watching me in the tree outside my window. So cute. I think it's a mourning dove. A space in my life. I'd had my third child. And this is a time in my life, and maybe you can relate, and maybe you can think about a time in your life where you felt like, oh my gosh, is this really what my life is about? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this really what's going to be happening for me? Like to me, because I was in the to me phase, not for me, the to me, where I was thinking everything was happening to me. That was my victim phase. Oh, thank you so much. And I was in my victim phase. Have you ever been in a victim phase? And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm overweight. I've just had my third baby. I just don't feel like myself. I'm not happy, but I don't know why. And I feel like I'm just running on the hamster wheel of life. And I was 38 years old at this time. And so this was a while ago, thank goodness, because I've become much wiser since then. But I was in a space where I just felt very kind of lost. And I was working for an MLM at the time, and I was sharing skincare products. And I was really working really hard because I wanted something for myself. I wanted something that I could do to provide for my family. Oh, good. I'm so glad. And I wanted something that was my own, that I could be a part of a community of women who really raised me up and lifted me up. And I found this community through a friend, and I was working this MLM, and I was sharing skincare products, and it was going okay, but I wasn't super, super happy with what the results were doing monetarily. And so I was at a gym selling these products for Arbonne, if you've heard of Arbonne. And I ran into an elderly couple. And this elderly couple were at the gym, and they were in their 80s, you all. They were in their 80s, and they were at the gym. Isn't that cool? And so I started talking to them, and they started talking to me, and they were telling me that they took these vitamins, because I said, "How are you in the gym and you're like in your 80s and you guys are working out and you look so good and your skin is so nice?" And they said, "Well, we take supplements and we drink water and we don't eat a lot of sugar and we work out and we think happy thoughts." I mean, this is the simplicity of how we can manage our lives. This is the simplicity. And they were nice, kind, good, loving people, and they were out in service to others, but they weren't showy people. They weren't glamorous. The woman wore no makeup, they were very simple people. And that's what attracted me to them, because my life seems so complicated. Have you ever had your life feel so complicated at times you didn't even know what you were doing? So, needless to say, they talked to me and they gave me their card. And that's all they said. They didn't tell me anything else. They just gave me their card and they said, "If you're ever interested in learning more about, what we do to take care of ourselves, just give us a call." Well, of course I did. Of course I called them, because I was so fascinated with them, and it was meant to be that I was supposed to call them. There are no coincidences in life. I've said this probably in almost all of my videos. There's no coincidences in life. And so I called them, and lo and behold, they had started their own supplement company. And they were doing very, very well selling these products in parts of the world, not all over the world. And they started this business at their kitchen table. And they started this business knowing that they knew a lot about supplements because they'd worked for another supplement company. But then they decided to create their own. And what happened was, I told them, "I haven't been sleeping. I have 3 children under the age of 5. I'm exhausted. I feel terrible. My skin looks terrible. What can I do? What do you got in your storehouse for me that I could take to make myself maybe sleep through the night, maybe feel better, maybe lose some weight?" And they told me about one of their products. It's called Daily Biobasics. And I started taking that product. And in the first few weeks, I did not feel very good. I got bloated. I felt kind of yucky, but I did start sleeping better, and I was drinking a lot more water. Well, then I started feeling a little bit better after a few weeks, and I started to notice that I was losing weight. And so I kept taking the product. And then lo and behold, my former mother in law asked me to go to a Zumba class. And I said, "Sure, what's Zumba?" And she's like, "I don't know. Let's just go check it out." So we did. And I started dancing. So the reason I'm sharing this is because my journey into knowing myself was truly physical at first. So if you're stuck anywhere in your life, just doing something to take care of you physically can be a really massive, wonderful step for you to get back in balance. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time, and it doesn't have to be hard. It literally could be a walk every day, just a walk. That's how you could start. And so, and this is one of the reasons I'm going to interject my talk right here. This is one of the reasons why I created my women's program, Find Your Fire. It's a 5-week self-paced program. And the reason I created that was because when I began my journey to know myself and to learn more about me and to become more empowered, I started small, and I started in this physicality place of just getting myself to the Zumba class and taking my daily biobasics. And that's really what started my whole journey into changing my body, changing my mind, changing my life, transforming my life, because this was one of the beginning catalysts that helped me to start moving forward in my life. Hello. And so I created my women's program, Find Your Fire, and it's a 5 week, five five module self-paced program. And you can find out more information on reclaimrebuildrestore.com. And it's a great program for women because I've just mentored so many women and men over the years, but I created my program specifically for women because I know so many women who have struggled just like me, and they needed some tools in their toolbox to get them to another space in their life that they were hoping to get to. And that means sometimes leaving behind things that don't serve us anymore. And that's hard. And so my program facilitates kind of walking you through that. And like I said, you can find out more information at Reclaim, Rebuild, Restore. Back to my story is that after a time of taking this product, Daily Biobasics, and then I started taking, because I was having horrible carpal tunnel, I started taking a vitamin called Somazyme, and that started helping me with my carpal tunnel. And I was just really paying attention to my physical body and how did my physical body feel and what can I do to make it feel better. And it was through the supplements and through wisdom from these people that I met in a gym. And the one woman, her husband did pass away, my mentor, but she is now going to be 98 next month. 98. So that's pretty amazing. But these people were just wonderful, full of wisdom, full of information. This guy could talk to me about things that I'd never heard of. He recommended books for me to help my physical body get better. And so my journey was really in this piece, the beginning of changing my physical body. And that led to then changing my mind, my spirit, my financial situation. Everything started to unfold as I stepped into the physical journey of myself. And that's so important because we are body, mind, and spirit, and there's many facets to us. And you can't just focus on one, and maybe you can for a little bit of time, but then the other parts of you are going to suffer. So it's a constant balance of body, mind, and soul. And by getting my body into shape, into feeling good, into more energy, I was then able to become consciously aware of other places of my life that needed nurturing and tenderness and care. And that's what I did. I started to unfold, reveal, unravel those parts of me that were broken, if you want to call them that, or that needed healing, that needed coming to the light. And that's what this physical journey started. So first of all, I don't know if you're in a space where you need some supplements to help you out. I would encourage you to go look at lifeplus.com, www.lifeplus.com/friends financial freedom fund. I can put the link in my description, and then check out the products because this company now is doing millions and millions of dollars. I personally have been taking these products for 17 years, and they make me feel better. I feel like my body loves the products, not all of them, because I've tried some of them. I don't like them, but it's something that I share with people still. One of my favorite products actually is colloidal silver. It's I call it magic in a bottle. So you could go check that out. But when we get our physical body feeling better, things actually do change. And I'll tell you this for sure, that last night I got a good night's sleep. And today I feel 100 times better because the night before I got a terrible night's sleep. And so just sleep alone is very critical for me. And I had to learn this, that I need my sleep, I need my rest. So what is it for you? What is it that helps your physical body stay balanced in homeostasis? What is it for you that really helps you when it comes to your physicality? because I know what works for me. Earthing on the earth, putting my bare feet on the ground, going for walks in nature, taking my vitamins, drinking my Kangen water, um, meditating during the day. What's it for you? What is it for you? Because I know who I was, and I don't want to go back to that person that was unhealthy and unhappy. I want to move forward in life. And that's again what my channel is about. So I'm going to end on my story real quick because I got to go. I have a call in a little bit. But I'm going to tell you my story that I'm giving tonight at Last Story Standing. It's for the National Speakers Association. So here goes. When we see fire, we assume destruction, but fire has always been a catalyst for transformation. So, what if the very thing you're afraid of is the doorway to who you're becoming? 9 years ago, I woke up one morning, and before my feet hit the floor, I heard a voice say, "It's time to go firewalking." For years, I'd trained with a coach who loved what he called extreme fear based activities: shark diving, rattlesnake hunting, skydiving, firewalking. He didn't even do them anymore, but he always told us how they changed people. And me being the pyromaniac that I am, I thought, why not? That day, I found a 4-day firewalk instructor training in Dallas, starting in 3 weeks. I didn't know what being an instructor entailed, thank goodness, or I might have changed my mind. Before leaving, my parents, former insurance agents, took me to dinner. After the drinks were poured, they said, "What if you get burned? Does insurance cover that?" I said, "People have been doing this for thousands of years. It's certified. And don't you know me by now? I'm the little girl who climbed trees, 60-foot trees, at 5 years old." On that first night, I walked across the fire twice and I felt invincible. You know that surge? That moment you think, I can do anything. And then another instructor walked up to me and he said, "Congrats. Just wait until Saturday. That's when you have to walk it 108 times." And I said, "What? That wasn't on the website." And just like that, that invincible feeling disappeared. It wasn't the fire I was afraid of. It was the thought that maybe I wasn't as capable as I thought. On the second night, I burned my feet. We had to build the fire, tend it, lay it, while our master barked orders to throw us off. It worked. I drove to my hotel and texted my children and my closest friends, "I need you. I'm scared." They reminded me how powerful I am and to keep going. Saturday came. I was nauseated all day. The only other woman in the group pulled me aside and said, "We're the fire co-captains. We're doing this." At one point, to relay the 1400-degree coals, the same man who warned me about the 108 walks said he could tell I was faltering and wanted to pray with me. I didn't agree, or I agreed, but I didn't feel that way. And when we stepped back onto the coals, I noticed something. He was walking along the edge of the coals, the coolest part. Where had I been walking? Straight down the middle, the hottest part. And suddenly I realized he didn't give me strength. I had given it to him. Then they laid the lane to 20 feet long. And as I stepped onto the coals, something changed. I didn't feel them, even though the song Gravity was blaring on the loudspeaker. It felt like I levitated. And as I finished the walk and fell into my master's arms and sobbed, I understood that the fire was not the enemy. No, she is a teacher. My perception had shifted. The doubt was the enemy. 2 days later, my feet were fine. I played basketball with my son and his CYC team. That fire didn't destroy me. My physical body was not affected. It was the fear, and it was released in that moment. And so I'm going to ask you today, what fire in your life is where you are afraid to get burned? And maybe instead of getting burned, it's a doorway. Thanks everybody for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my story. This is what I will be sharing tonight among 9 other participants. And every week I come on here and I share some story, some experience that you can glean some wisdom from. And thank you for joining me 12 p.m. Central Standard Time when I can get on YouTube. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. And I hope to see you. Oh, I may not be on here next Thursday. We'll see. I'm going out of town. I may not be on here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the hearts. I so appreciate you. Sorry again that I was late getting on here. I don't know what the deal is, but I love joining you every week. If you ever have questions and you want to put them into the chat and ask me a coaching question, I would love to help you. I love to get answer or questions from people. I love when people call me. I mentor a lot of people, and I love when they call me and say, "Oh, I need your help, Melissa." My best friend called me today and asked me a question about something that she wanted some wisdom on. So every Thursday, Central Standard Time, join me here on YouTube Live. I'm just going to keep coming on and sharing my experience with you all and seeing if you have any mentoring you need done. And I hope you all have a super duper great rest of your day, and I will connect with you next week. See you soon.